Hello everybody and welcome to J Smith Takes a quick look at Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams. I will be using my controller, so I'm going to press start. And anyways, so let's talk a little bit about this game. It's Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams. It is a successful Kickstarter. Reached out its funding goal on August 31st. It was released on Steam on October 22nd, so new release. But also, it got some help with Greenlight. It was one of the few that got greenlit, so congratulations to the developer. You can get this game on GOG, Gamersgate, and Steam for $15. It was created by a German studio, Black Forest Games. So let's, I suppose, get right into it. I mean, I can take a picture or take a look at the gallery, but screw that. I'll do that at the end. So we are going to get into the adventure. Check out the kind of like, this is really the only opening cutscene that there is to the game. There's really not too much that explains what's going on besides this. So we got the sisters here, grab some funky pyramid type thing, and a vortex opens up. Like, god damn, I hate when that happens. So, trying to, I don't know, this black hole of a vortex, one gets sucked in, the other one's no, and gets in a little bit later. So, I've played this game, I suppose, let me get this freaking cursor out of the way. I've played the game for a little bit, probably an hour or so, so I'm only at World 2, but I think that's enough to kind of give like a good impression of my, the game so far and a little bit of my feelings. So, let's start. I'll probably play 1 or 1-2 to get a feel for it, and then I'll skip ahead to some of like the later levels with Owl Castle, and then to the Amethyst Mines. Because Amethyst Mines, you actually have the final boss battle as well. So let's get this started in Whirlwind Forest. Why not? And like the first level is it's more like a tutorial, but I think it doesn't introduce everything, and so this is the first level that we're kind of able to have all the abilities that we have. So first off, again, there's really not too much in the department of, you know, what's really going on in the story, but I am this little girl, one of the Giana sisters, but I'll be able to switch out to the other one, and so like this person's pretty like dark and angsty, I suppose, but they're in kind of like this light world, and then you switch over to like the nice, you know, cheery blonde looking girl, and she's in like Hell Land. So her ability on like this kind of unique side is she has this double jump and has like a slow descent. The other girl is able to do this kind of fast fireball, and that will be able to kind of chain them together and be able to get to like different heights and everything like that. So let's grab all of these little star things. Stars unlock not much. You need a certain amount of stars on every world to be able to continue on to the next world. So if you don't do too well or you don't collect enough stars, you can beat the level, but you might not be able to exceed the world. I haven't run into that problem yet, thankfully, just because you don't even have to necessarily speed through every level to get all the stars or all the cube diamond things, crystals necessary to continue on. Just as long as you're pretty diligent in picking up all the ones that are immediately available, you should be pretty okay. So that's the first time I get to use the fireball technique, you know, in kind of like a rapid sense. So when you go to this, if you hold an X button, you turn into a big ball of flaming pissed offness and are able to kind of navigate through that. That'll come in handy a little bit later, you know, when I'm faced with kind of little obstacles that I can't go too much beyond. Let's go down here. An interesting thing is, even though I could be the red character right now, I could jump and I press the Y button, then it'll twitch me back, but also use the blonde's kind of power. And I could do the same thing. If I'm the blonde, I could press X to use the fireball, but that'll also immediately turn into the other sister here. So kind of, it's, you know, those things come in handy in one of the later on levels. I'll show you what I mean when I get to them. But for now, we're just going to kind of continue on murdering and getting beyond this level. The game's difficulty, it really kind of varies. Some levels are extremely easy, other levels just not necessarily like the entire level, there's just bits and pieces of levels that are really kind of frustrating, and I suppose part of me can blame the game for being too hard, but I mean I feel like that's kind of a cop-out. I don't know, maybe it's like not the best design, or there's a little section that it doesn't quite describe itself accurately. And I'll show you what I mean when I get to the castle level, because I definitely had a hard time on one particular segment. Even though, because, I don't know, maybe the solution to the problem wasn't quite apparent. I just died right there. There was I don't know if you saw, but there was one of the, I don't know, ugly creature things, the bird, in my way. So I'll kill those right off the bat. Another thing I suppose that I should mention, when you are in either one of these kind of levels, or the segments, everything in the background changes, everything in the foreground seems to change, even the enemies are different. So when I am the blonde, you can see they have these devil kind of creatures, but when I am the angsty, I love like the juxtaposition of, you know, the blonde, like the bright and colorful person in this kind of like hell land, or you know, this really grim place, and then I'll switch over to what I would imagine would be more fitting, this kind of purple, looks like almost like a punk type thing going on, but she is in the happy land where there's really no enemies. There's just a bunch of like birds that run around to kind of take on that role. So let me get these. Okay, good, and kind of use my flame ability to get up there. So that is the end of the first world. Well, the second world, the second level of the first world. But the first one that I would be able to showcase a little bit of everything. In the first kind of tutorial stage, you don't have the special abilities, so that's why I kind of chose 1-2. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit, go to Owlbreak Castle. The rest of the levels are pretty similar, they're kind of on par with that in the second level in terms of aesthetics. And so this is the first level that kind of really has a change of scenery. So let's continue on through here, not getting crushed by the death pillars. And we are going to just move on past the falling rocks underneath us. Switch over to here, switch over to my girl on the blonde side. I really should probably get names for these girls. I'll just call this blonde and this one red. How about that? So red, and I only knew that from playing this level earlier, when I run across here with red, this kind of door is continually closed, but when I am blonde, it opens up for me. And vice versa for this door as well. So certain doors, certain things change in every level depending on which character you are, which, you know, it makes sense. So pushing the big freaking block out of my way, make my way up to here, kind of like almost a death-defying jump or leap or whatever have you. But I'm gonna move across. I am not kind of playing to like my full capacity right now. There's certainly plenty of things that I'm skipping that would be kind of up and to the left, but for time's sake and just kind of trying to give you guys a little bit of my impressions, I'm skipping ahead a little bit faster than maybe I should, but I hope you guys don't mind. Anyways, I'm trying to navigate my way up. This sign, I was never able to figure out a way that I would be able to use my fireball to get up to here, you know, perfectly without having to use that enemy, which I think that guy or that sign implies. So here's the I don't know. So moving down, this thing will kind of dictate whether I am blonde or red. If I'm blonde, it will go down. If I'm red, it will move up. That's still okay. Get to the chest. The chest serves as the save point, so every time I get there, the little hand will come out and wave its flag, signifying that I have indeed crossed a checkpoint, or a checkpoint. There's multiple throughout every level, so, you know, there's not too many times that you'll die and you'll be too far away. I have had that, you know, it happened to me maybe once, maybe twice, that, you know, I got to one particular location, I kept dying a bunch of times, and that kind of almost ruined my day, but it turned out to be okay. So let's go up here. I don't know why. So there was a question mark here that probably means that there was a secret somewhere. I guarantee I missed it, so oh well. I guess that makes me screwed. No worries. continue moving on. I don't think there's too much over to the left, so let's go over to the right and see what I can get into. Oh! It's I can get into a bird, which is no fun for anybody except if I was perhaps an egg. Well, in that case, you know, I can either hatch or be warm and comfy. A little interesting with the enemies in this, so when I am red, they are turtles and I'll be able to jump on them. When I am blonde, they turn into angry fish which want to murder me. This serves as a little bit of a problem, because when I'm blonde, I'll be able to jump over there, but I can't jump on the turtle because I'm obviously blonde. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump over there using my special ability to float. And while I'm floating in midair, I'm going to switch over to red, and the fish will hopefully turn back into a turtle, in which case I can jump on it. So let's test this theory out. And okay, a little too late on that one. Let's try it a little bit faster. Oh, okay, hold on. So, if I'm red, I'll be able to switch over to blonde and then switch back real fast. That makes everything a lot easier. Continue that repetition for this time. And, oh, I guess I should have done it one more time. So let's do this one more time. One more time. I swear this is going to be the last time. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Okay, careful. And up. And there we go. Avoid the knights that will run at me because they're angry at the world. Thank you for not murdering me. You are a scholar and a gentleman. Kill the birds. Get the diamonds. And move on forward. Oh, hey, I said forward. Not weird diagonal directions. So grabbing the diamonds, again, I'm not too concerned about getting all the diamonds, mostly because I did this in a previous run, and although I didn't do too well, I did certainly enough to get me a little bit better than what I'm currently doing. Right now, I'm sorry for like that little hiccup there, but I'm debating on, there's something I needed to do here. Oh, I remember. So I need to go up here, but I need to also go to the right. Because when I go to the right, that will enable me to get this box down here, which I will be able to push to the left and up and over some ramps. Pushing, oh my god, it takes forever. I think it's, I'm recording this at 30 frames per second right now. When I'm in 60, it goes a hell of a lot faster, so I'm sorry about that. But, you know, there's only certain things I can do with the software and also my hardware that I'm currently running on. So moving this box over, so I guess, what are my actual impressions about this game? I don't know, it's interesting, because part of me, it's a good game, it seems well polished, I would say. Maybe all the puzzles and everything aren't quite, you know, up to par with some of the AAA titles out there, but certainly for an indie title, I'm really enjoying myself so far with it. Everything, you know, the puzzle design could be a little bit better at some points, I feel, but oh god, don't kill me. Okay, and coming up, I'll show you a certain spot which kind of gave me a hard time and left me with a little bit of a bad flavor in my mouth. But for the most part, I do enjoy this game. For 15 bucks, it could be kind of a non-selling point for a lot of people, and myself included. I mean, 15 bucks for this game kind of seems a little steep. Oh shit. Okay, I really didn't want to do that. Oh, but new thing I just learned is I could push these a lot faster if I use my fire. So no one told me that earlier. That's too bad. Okay, so there is gotta be a way for me to get up here, because I was able to do it earlier. Why does this game troll me all day? I don't think I deserve it. Okay, so up here again, and there we go. Okay, I just had to do a little bit of ricochet action. Let's go over to the left. I think there is a box over here. Correct. So, spoilers, here's a little secret. If you kill that bird, okay, oh god. Careful. Okay. Kill the bird, you're going to be able to, if you use your fireball, you'll be able to access this little secret area up here, unlock some gallery photos, and get some extra diamonds. So use that during your playthrough. But again, the game, it's fun, it's unique. You know, there's not too many games, I guess, out there that, you know, I guess that's not completely true. There's a plethora of games that will enable you to kind of switch between characters, but I really like the juxtaposition in this game with, you know, the the different characters kind of in like their off worlds. Another interesting thing about this game is the soundtrack. It's all metal. So even when I'm like the happy princess, it's still like a form of metal music, and it just doesn't quite make sense to me. The composer of the soundtrack is, I'm gonna mispronounce this as all hell because he's a German guy, but Chris Holzbeck in Machine Supremacy, which I guess is a legit, maybe, metal band. I haven't heard of them, but apparently they might be a big thing in Germany. I have no idea. So moving up here, here's the kind of part that gave me a little bit of issue. And only because it wasn't explained too well. There has been 0 things in this game to kind of lead me to find this decision. I actually had to freaking YouTube it to kind of figure this out. So what I wanted to do is, I can see when I switch, the little... Oh, the skeleton killed me while I was trying to explain something. Thank you for being a dick. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So this ramp moves every time I switch. So I was thinking, if I can use Blonde over here, I would be able to use her. I would be able to fall and then use her ability to kind of jump back up. So let's see what I can do when I kind of use that system. So yeah, screw it. I am way too uncoordinated while I'm doing this. Essentially, I just died a bunch of times, but I survived a couple times while doing that as well. But what you're actually supposed to do is duck. And duck, really, you don't need it for anything. I don't know if it was ever in the tutorial or if I ever had to duck before this particular mission before. But it really threw me off and threw me through a loop because I was just really confused about the entire subject. And so that led me to countless deaths and just frustration that didn't necessarily have to be there. So maybe that's my fault for being ignorant, but also, come on, give me a little heads up to what you're expecting out of me in terms of, what you're programming in the game, what all my abilities are. Because, maybe if I did something along those lines in a tutorial, that would have prepared me a little bit better for, what kind of lies ahead. Overall, it's a fun game. Once I've got beyond this whole kind of like anger issue, and there's other points in the game that, little times that have frustrated me. Amethyst Mines, I don't think we have enough time for today, but it does have a boss battle on it. It's interesting. It's kind of like a worm creature, and he killed me a heck of a bunch of times, but like anything, it has a certain programmed, like, kind of thing that he does and he goes through, and so it's just learning, where he's going to be at certain times, and that's kind of what will help you. Anyways, 15 bucks, Giana Sisters, Twisted Dreams. If you like what you see, I, recommend you pick it up, support some indie devs, developers. This was greenlit, and so you can get it on Steam. What else? GOG and Gamersgate for 15 bucks. Not a bad game at all. There might be other games out there that will catch your fancy for that amount of price. 15 bucks. It's kind of steep. It does have, I think, yeah, so 3 worlds with, I guess, almost 6, probably more in between. So, I don't know. Good game. I can't give it my full recommendation to go out and everyone buy it. But if you liked what you saw, give it a go. If you have any questions for me, shoot them to me in the comments, or shoot them to me on Twitter, which is jsmith_OTI. If you have any suggestions or comments or concerns, or you want me to elaborate on something, I'll certainly kind of help you out to that. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you guys very much for checking this out. Thank you, Black Forest Games, for sending me this copy. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. This is a fun game, and certainly enjoyable if you kind of like the 2D platforming style of the game. Interesting, unique, and I hope I demonstrated enough for you guys to kind of make your own decision on it. But like I said, get back to me if you if you have any more questions. But that's going to be it for this episode, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.